Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Women's Day special episode of ours on SOMCast. This is going to be a really fun episode because we have with us three beautiful, young, smart ladies Bharti, Soumya, and Swathi. Hello, Bharti.
Hi, how are you, Atra?
Yeah, hi, Swathi.
Hi.
And hi, Soumya.
Hi.
This episode, as usual, will be co hosted with Akash. Hello, Akash.
Hello, Atri, and I'm very happy that we finally have a good recording. Because just to give you an insight, Atri has been forgetting Swati's name for like the past three recordings.
I don't know why.
This actually has been happening, and I do not know why this is the reason. He always remembers Soumya and Bharti's name. Swati, he just looks at her and just stays. So we'll start with that itself. Swati, can you give an introduction of yours to Atri at least?
Sure. Hi, Atra. I'm Swathi. I'm a fresher. I come from Kerala. So my experience at SOM has been very interesting, considering the fact that we have a very mixed batch from with people from all over the country
Yeah.
and also with all different backgrounds, from freshers to people who
Mhm.
have got 3-4 years of experience. And one thing that I absolutely enjoy about SOM is that we don't have as much pressure as compared to other IIMs when it comes
Right.
to academic structure and all of that. It's just till SIBs, and after that you're sorted.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's it from my end.
And what about you, Bharti?
Hi, I'm Bharti, and my experience here I totally resonate with what Swati said. But there are a lot of other activities you can pursue
Right.
at SOM because we are a part of IITB ecosystem, hence that gives a lot of opportunities to explore, and it's great to do that.
Yeah. You, Soumya?
Yeah, so I'm from Patna, Bihar. So after coming from almost 3 years of work ex, so firstly I had to manage with the studies, but then after that I came across with wonderful people, and the whole batch, they are very cooperative. They support each other. So we have that fight as a batch theme
Yeah,
all
fab.
over the place. Yeah, during our induction period only we get to know that fab is something that we have to live up to throughout our 2 years of MBA experience. So I feel that whatever culture we have and what has been passed to us and what we have given to the juniors, so it's
Yeah.
great over here.
Yeah.
Okay, so getting into the actual episode itself, Soumya missed one thing in her intro, which is that she was the IRT head, which is the international relation team.
Yeah.
And today's topic is literally about that, about their
Yeah.
summer school experience.
Yeah. So let's start with what is summer school and what is the entire idea behind sending students to summer school?
So during the summer school, the students have the opportunity of not only going and attending the classes, because it's not a semester run program where the students need to be present throughout the semester
Right.
over different colleges. And summer school provides the opportunity to go for 14 days, attend classes, give presentations, connect with people from across the globe. And then after that, maybe take out some more time, and then if we are like, let's suppose if someone is going in any university of Europe, so there we get the opportunity to travel to different European countries, which may not be possible for every student,
Right.
considering the maybe the time or maybe the financial constraints.
Right.
So this was the idea that not only academically we can also enjoy through that. So this
Yeah.
is the whole idea of summer
So
school.
if you can talk about where exactly you guys went for summer school. Swati.
Yeah, we went to KU Leuven, and as mentioned by Soumya, we take a Schengen visa for that.
Yeah.
It was a 14-day program, and after that, if you want to roam around Europe, Schengen visa includes many other countries as well. So that acts as an opportunity to travel around as well, just apart from the academic curriculum. And also, the curriculum was not something that we learn here. Like
Right.
it was more about European culture, if I'm not wrong. Most of the subjects were around European culture. I remember there was this interesting subject where we were supposed to interpret interesting paintings.
Yeah.
And they asked us the meanings of those paintings. We look at it from an MBA perspective,
Right.
and then they interpret it in a whole together a different. They take the
Yeah.
painting to a whole together different level. So all of those were very interesting, and we had cohort from, like, I think they had mentioned 6 different continents.
Yeah.
So that was a very interesting part of the program.
Where did you go, Bharti? Same?
Yeah,
we all
went
went
to
to
KUL.
KUL. So actually, also what interested me was we were looking all the subjects or whatever the professors taught us over there. It was more kind of from the viewpoint of the Europeans,
Right.
like how they are now acknowledging the atrocities, we may say, or maybe the colonization part, which was not being appreciated by them. So how they are now appreciating it, how the Black Lives Matter or anything that how, like, it was in Belgium, right? So how the professors came and then they took up that they had colonized Congo over there. So we were taken to the museum where they had changed and some big shifts were made over there. So it was great to see that they are now acknowledging the fact that how the colonization has affected those countries where they have colonized and how they are now improving upon that.
Yeah. And if you could walk us through a day in a life of a summer school student, how was the morning life?
Just before that, let's take a step back. What made you decide to go to summer school? I think that is a question that we all try.
Yeah, what was the motivation behind going there?
Go to Europe, go to as many countries that I can, and be with friends. And that was the period that was just after the internship. So we have 2 months of break, which is not possible in other IIMs. So that is one thing that we had the opportunity. So why not, like, even though I had 1 month of free time, so the other 1 month I could invest in that. So I thought that it would be great.
Yeah, after like 2 months of grueling summer internship, it is a much needed respite and also a great learning experience, I feel.
Yeah. It's not just that after internship, we still got around 20-25 days of break going to summer school.
Yeah, so it's around 1.5 month of free
But then
time.
while you plan for summer school, that planning happens during your internships time. So that kind of adds to workload because you need to apply for visa, you need to get documents from college, you need to go get documents from hostel, you need to travel wherever you get visa appointment. So that adds up a tad bit of work during the internship time.
Right. Now you can answer the question, how does the day in the life of summer school student look like?
So I think we usually start off by walking, finding a restaurant in the place and getting a croissant. Like that was all of us.
I can feel that.
Yes. And then we'll head up to our college wherein they have biscuits and water, and they used to serve us sparkling water. We were on the very first day, we very fancy tried and we're like, yes. So I mean, it was actually a very immersive program. It was not just classes, it was classes. They took us to museums.
We had trips, a lot of
So an hour of class, then we got a lunch break wherein we all would chill, go to try some new restaurant in the place, and then come
maybe
back.
Then go to find some Indian restaurants where we used to pay a lot more than we are used to paying here. But then it was all fun. We went for one World War III or something based movie they showed us in one of their theaters.
Yes.
Then we went into a live European session in European Parliament where the session was still going on, and then we were able to see and hear what the member of the parliament was telling and speaking about the debates and everything. So it was a good experience overall. It was not only where the professors came and took the lessons and that's it. So we had given presentations where the team members were from different countries. So we spent time with them. We found Indian friends from UCL. So they were a good company with whom we went to Paris or Bruges, which is a very beautiful city over there. So we had a lot of fun.
Yeah. And how was your interaction with fellow students and teachers, and what was the rigor of the curriculum, if there was any?
So rigor was not there. I think it was very relaxed, and we were given enough amount of time to interact with other students and even faculties. That I don't think most of us did, but we got the opportunity to still do that. It was there. And talking about the presentation, so in the 2 weeks, whatever you study, and at the end, there were, I think, 2 set of courses that everybody had to choose from. And based on that, you had to give presentation at the end.
Okay.
So, I mean, that was
the last
good.
day.
The last day. And after that, they had an entire certification program. I mean, certification
kind of ceremony.
Yeah, exactly. We were kind of felicitated, I guess.
Yeah.
So I think this group activity was something, the presentation was something where we got to know each other better, like the students from other colleges. Because I think most of the groups were mixed,
Yeah.
where we
I had a group where 3 of my members were from this college itself. But yeah,
So
still.
both, there was one difference that both of them had taken business-oriented courses, and mine was more cultural-oriented.
Yeah.
So our presentation was also on at different venues and on different topics. So again, that could have contributed for that because most of our batchmates were in the business-related courses.
Yeah, but in my group, I think I had people from, there was one Italian guy, there was one from South Africa, and another girl from South Africa. Yeah.
So how was that like learning with, because here we are all from this is all more or less similar backgrounds and ethnicities.
It's actually very nice. So one time we all have hung out with the South African and they were talking about their culture. So we were seeing how our culture varies from them a lot. So I will talk about, like, if somebody comes to my house, I'll greet them with coffee.
Yeah.
And if somebody goes to their house, I have to be like, I have to offer them myself, like, do you want coffee? I'm going to grab some. So they don't find it offensive that I'm going to their kitchen. So it's a very huge cultural difference that we got to learn. And then we also talked about drinking games. We'll talk about that.
Of course.
Off the record.
Off the record.
No, one interesting event that happened was a reception at the city hall at US,
yeah.
which was organized by their
city council, yeah.
Mayor and all.
Yeah.
the Leuven city, and there they were offering different kinds of beers and different kinds of
Wines,
appetizers,
yeah.
wines and beers,
And
were
also
served.
Belgian chocolates. So it was very surprising when they told, like, after the speech, they told us, now you can taste all the wines, you can grab beers, and we were like, okay, now. And on the table, they had put some beautiful Belgian chocolates. So I think our whole group was the one who ate all the chocolates from our table, and then we went to another tables because from students from other countries, I don't know why they were shy or they were too polite. Yeah, they were too polite to grab one or more than one.
Yeah.
And we were like, okay, now our table is finished. Now we want to go to another one. And also there were a lot of traditional beers, which is very specific, which is brewed in Leuven or Belgium.
So Belgium is famous for beer. They
Yeah.
have an entire beer wall as a
Yeah.
tourist attraction.
So due to that also, we were trying that, okay, now you have tried this, I'll try that, try mine, and then we were
Try
all
rose
a
beer.
happening group over there. Yeah.
And what all places other than the place where it was located, the school, you went to?
I think one trip that was
Bruges. We went to Bruges.
we went unofficially, correct?
Yeah.
But then with the university, we went to Paris.
Paris, yeah.
Yeah.
We took
Paris.
a day trip to Paris.
So was Paris the way it is portrayed as? And
We have heard from one of your batchmates that Paris was not.
It is too overhyped.
It's overhyped. But the Eiffel Tower is worth the hype. The
Yeah.
city is not.
okay.
The city is too crowded and the people are not so polite, I would say.
You
But
should
then,
know French if you want to.
yeah,
Oh.
they have that
You have
one
to check
thing. Because in Belgium also, half part of Belgium speaks
yeah.
French speaking, then the another part
Dutch.
speaks Dutch, and one of the parts speaks Germany. So German.
Yeah.
So they were quite nice and very sweet people. Like I can remember I was standing in a supermarket and then there was a lady who was behind me. And then usually what someone does, like if she wants to go and pass me, so you can just call me out that please, can you please excuse me? But she waited for me, and then not knowing that someone is behind me, I was looking at what can I buy for my snacks and all. And then Swathi or Urban, they told me that this woman is standing behind you, so please pass. And then I was like, okay, they are so polite that they are hesitating and even telling that, okay, please,
I can't help but compare it to Mumbai locals.
Please.
The stark difference.
What I realized was it just depends on the number of people around you, because Leuven is a small city and then
Picturesque
there are very
hamlet.
people. The weather is nice, so the moods are also nice, and they don't have to deal with a lot of people.
Yeah.
But as soon as we went to a very bustling city like Paris, and then we saw that what happens over here also, that if you are not moving across the road like timely or so they get irritated that okay, move now. And then contrastingly, if you go to Belgium or a very quiet city, so people are very nice.
But I think this has to do more with the cultural differences of those even small countries.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
when we went to
Even that,
Switzerland,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very common thing, but they stop if they see a passerby. They want to cross the road.
Mm-hmm.
They stop even if
Yeah,
they don't
even
want
if the
to.
signal is not
Exactly. That
green.
happens
Yeah.
even in Belgium.
Hmm.
But this we did not see it in France.
So from the outside, it appears like Europe is a monolith, but that
Yes,
is not
it's
the
not.
case.
It's
It is has its own
It has
individual
a
identity.
lot of
Because-
fragmented.
Yeah, every country has their own culture and just
Mhm.
cross border and changes drastically.
Yeah.
I think one of the main reasons for Paris being so irritating was the fact that they wanted people to speak French. And if you're, so even we went to one restaurant and there we were not able to understand the menu and stuff.
Yeah.
I won't
And
hear
even
the story.
if
Yeah.
we try to speak something in French, and if we are not able to catch up how they are speaking, they won't like it.
Yeah.
French have
Yeah.
this.
They have this.
Yes.
Yeah.
They have this feeling
If
of
you're
being
trying to
superior.
speak French, then you should know that how the
It's
words
pronounced,
goes.
yeah.
How to pronounce it.
Yeah.
It's not like just you're trying. Otherwise, they'll feel that you're mocking them. So
Hmm.
I knew Mercy, and then every minute I was like, okay, Mercy beaucoup. Thank you and thank you very much. These were two things that I used to say over there.
Yeah. And what was the funniest, if you have to choose one incident that happened in the entire 1 month duration?
There were a lot.
Yeah.
There were a lot.
You can hear many of them.
Yeah.
The time when one of our friends, his jersey got stolen. Yeah, I mean, we found it funny. We did not.
Of course.
The previous episode, this was Arpan, and after Arpan's episode ended,
Yeah.
he sat and told me this whole story. And I'm regretting saying this out loud because I want to come back.
Yeah.
I said that name too loud. But explain that story. I'm very curious about that story.
The stealing story.
Stealing story. It got stolen. I just lost it.
It got stolen.
Nobody knows.
Okay.
Nobody
Hmm.
knows what actually happened.
A higher likelihood
Went
was.
back and then he searched for all the places where we were present. But then he didn't find it. So most probably someone would have taken it.
Yeah, exactly. So actually, one thing we did was from Paris, we had a ticket to return back at 8.
Hmm.
We were like, we want to see Eiffel Tower sparkle. We
Yeah.
are not going to leave without that. So I think all the people from Storm stayed back. And then that 1 hour journey via train, we did 5 hour journey via bus, returning back to Belgium. And next day we attended classes.
That is pretty much how in SOM we function.
Exactly.
You're
Yeah.
used to it by then.
Yeah, pretty much. So I think one thing that we did not mention yet to mention was we went to the museum wherein memorials were kept from the
Cost.
the Holocaust.
Yeah.
So I mean,
It was very touching.
I mean,
What a very important part of history that needs to be
exactly.
told.
Yeah,
And when we went, I mean, they had the uniforms, the letters that were dropped, and the pictures. I mean, overall, the vibe was so sad, I would say, and you could essentially feel what
that.
happened
Yeah.
there.
I can remember a letter which a very small girl. It was from a very small little girl, and she has sent this letter to her mother. So which was sent to this concentration camp. So she has mentioned that I hope you're well. It's my birthday, so I hope we'll meet soon. So looking at that letter, I still have that photo, and then I felt very saddened that you might not know that your mother is still alive or not, and she's going to the concentration camp where we all know that what happened. So still there is a hope that okay, this letter would find her in a way that okay, it's her birthday and she's fine, her uncle is taking care of her. So all those things literally touched. And one more incident I remember from that day, the person who was responsible for taking us and showing all the things. So he greeted us with Sanskrit words and all. And then he also asked that who all are Indians. By looking at us, he was quite familiar that, okay, we are Indians. But still he asked that you guys are Indians, so do you know Sanskrit and all. So it felt really nice that they are appreciating our culture also. So
I think yes, probably to add one point to that letter.
Yeah.
We know what all happened during the Holocaust, but in some sense, that mother is still remembered in some sense.
Yeah. So they have built a whole wall of all the members, like all the people who were subjected to those trauma and those concentration camps. So that is really
The entire wall.
painful, but
There was a
still
wall
nice.
where they had
Small
miniature pictures of
pictures
everybody
So
who
and
went
people
there.
who have had, they have pictures, their pictures are there, otherwise blank faces are there in the entire
Yeah,
wall.
and
There are certain people who are marked in different colors because they were survivors. They were not killed during that time.
Yeah. So
And these are the experiences you can't have while sitting in your hostels and just going to college every day.
So that's the point, right?
Yeah,
There,
that's-
the curriculum was more about learning about European culture and all of that, rather
Right.
than just MBA or MBA
Yeah.
stuff.
And really immerse yourself in the country's traditions, culture, everything.
Yeah, their aim was if you guys are coming from different parts of the world and coming and spending 14 days with us, then you should know what our culture has been or what it is, what we have made, what changes we are bringing to the society. So all those things from parliament, from museum, from African museum. So everything, or maybe fun part, they took us to something like a Disney
Effling.
World. Effling Disney World, yeah. So all the it was everything.
Yeah.
It was not just academics or one or two paintings or one different lectures, but it was more kind of a very holistic thing that they.
I think one thing
had
we
planned.
briefly touched upon was food. So how was food like in Europe for all of you?
First week, we were ready to explore European stuff. But
Yeah.
after that, the Indians in us got to us. We were ready to pay higher and eat at Indian places there. But it was fun. I think the bakeries and then beer is something that we enjoyed there. And if you are a non-vegetarian, you won't struggle there. Obviously, all three of us were non-vegetarians. So
Yeah.
we did not have that.
I felt even McDonald's and KFC had better chicken wings over there.
Yeah. I think most of us initially we survived on Turkish food because it's very similar to Indian food.
Yeah, it was cheaper also.
Yeah,
it was
we
cheaper
survived
and
the entire
it had a
Europe
lot
trip
of.
with that.
Just one question when you're talking about cheap food. How many times did you do the conversion into rupees when you're looking at the menu?
You can't. You gotta get out of your habit of talking our currency because you won't be able to spend.
Yeah.
So you will start thinking in their currency. Otherwise,
I remember when we landed at, we had a connecting flight through Istanbul. When we reached Istanbul airport and we decided to eat something over there. So everything, even the Burger King or different places, everything had a lot of euros and the numbers. So when we started doing the math, and then we were like, okay, it is for just one burger for 500 rupees, for 600 rupees. We were like, no, we are not eating that. So that day we survived because we had another flight where they would be giving us the meal. So we're like, okay, we'll just eat over there, and then we shared some on the airport itself. But after that, after a few days, we were like, okay, now we have got a rough idea that this much is fine. This much euros to spend in a day or in a meal. So it's fine. So we
5
started.
to 6 euro is considered like cheap for a meal.
Yeah, and then obviously a small can of water. So it was around 2 euros or 3 euros, and we were like, okay, 300 rupees. So approx 250 to 60 rupees for one time water. So what are we doing? And then
beer
another
is cheaper. Beer is cheaper than
Yeah.
this.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally, it's
You
cheaper.
have supermarkets tagged where you have water bottles, you have beers, and then you see beer cans placed marginally lower priced than water bottles, and then you are like, okay, should I take this or that? And then you end up taking the other one.
Paradise for alcohol aficionados.
Yeah.
I think in Leuven we were a bit more conscious when we were spending. But
Yeah,
after
because
that,
it
when we were
was
roaming
14
around,
days. So once we were like, once we'll go out of this country, and then we were going to explore a lot, many more countries. So we're like, now we won't see that how we are spending, or we have managed a lot in these 14 days. Now we are going to spend whatever it is.
Okay, I think I have been in Leuven for quite a while now. Let's talk about the countries you explored afterwards. What was the whole trip like?
So We went to Luxembourg. Then we went to
Very rich place.
The richest
yeah,
place, I
actually,
as
we
per
booked
Wikipedia.
one B&B where it said that it will be one room, two room, this thing, room one and room two. But we went over there. That was not only two rooms. It had piano, it had fridge,
Wow.
the everything.
Oh my
like
God.
we were like, okay, was this only two room apartment or something? Because everything was
The
so
customer delight that I think our marketing pros talk about.
yeah. So it was something where we saw a lot of high-priced cars, yeah, Bentley and everything. It was there.
Wow.
So, and every other very fancy dogs. I haven't seen in my entire life dogs like them. And then they were so well groomed, and they were dressed also. They were groomed also, and then they had a very beautiful.
Very sure when we started the podcast, it wasn't discussed about dogs. 10 segment of dogs.
So there were cars.
Dogs.
There were rich people. Every other people over there, they were rich. They had fancy, beautiful dogs.
Yeah.
And then they,
Fancy car.
yeah, they had fancy cars. That's it.
The
Yeah.
amount of fancy cars that we have seen it was so high that one time I saw Alto
Oh.
and I was shocked. Like Alto here, Alto.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were some Maruti cars in
I was
Leuven. Yeah.
shocked. How did it get here?
But then we were in Luxembourg for one day only, but that was a very beautiful place.
Yeah, the temperature, everything, it was
The
very
climate
nice.
was very good the
Yeah.
day we went, and yeah, it
Then
is
we
expensive.
went to Switzerland, Zurich, where we had a lot of fun. We ate Indian food over there by spending a lot of money. And then we had
Typical
the cruise
Indian
ride.
behavior,
Yeah,
behavior when
yeah.
they go out.
Yeah,
We spoke to the waiter also.
yeah. They
They were
also
Sri Lankan, I guess.
they were Sri Lankan.
The restaurant that we went.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Sri Lankans own a lot of restaurants outside.
Then
How was
Zurich
that
was
like?
really nice.
Zurich, like
Zurich was really beautiful. Actually, the main
Alps are
city.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, we went to House of Chocolate. So there, yeah. So there we had a lot of fun. We got a lot of chocolates over there. So they were distributing chocolates, and we were also taking a lot of chocolates what we were not supposed to take. Yeah. Just like in Leuven, we did the same thing over there also. So
Given the number of chocolates you guys have consumed, you guys, I think, should not be complaining about overpriced Europe. I feel.
It compensated.
Yeah.
yeah,
We tried to compensate for the museum's ticket.
actually, it was around 15 euros or something.
15, 20 euros. Yeah.
15 euros or something per person ticket was for the House of Chocolate. And when we went inside, there was one a beautiful place where all kinds of chocolates and everything was there. So that was priced. But then when we took the tour, so they
Started with the history of
Yeah,
chocolate and how
history.
it's made. We went through it at a very fast rate, and then
and then came the true place where we can get the all kinds of chocolates.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, there is shop below, but then if they are giving us, and we have the bags, and we have the mouth, we have the hands, so why not use it? Yeah, because first we took it, we ate it over there. Then we saw that, okay, nobody is just bothered about how many chocolates you are taking and how many rounds you are going through. So we just started filling our bags. So, and then once the trip ended, we were like, okay, who
has the-
chocolates, yeah, who has the largest number of chocolates collected and everything. So it was really nice.
So segment about chocolate stealing.
Yeah.
Value.
Yeah, and everywhere we did one thing was cruise. So Zurich also when we went to Italy, there also we took cruises. We
That's
had beer, and then it was very peaceful.
That's a very good
In
way of
between the
actually, I think.
hustling and bustling of traveling from one country to another.
Yeah.
So that was one part where we sat and then we enjoyed. Yeah.
So it wasn't very packed trip as such. You guys
It
had
was actually
time.
it was
was
if you
fun.
look at
during the
itinerary,
end.
yeah, you will feel that okay, we have been traveling a lot, but then these cruises or
Yeah.
these parks where we went to, we would just sit there. Even in Leuven, we had one park where we used to
We
take some
used to go
chocolates
and
we
have
used to
some
sit there.
picnics.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Chocolates always.
every day actually in Leuven, our motive was to explore which chocolate destination would be good to pack chocolates
for our
to
home,
take.
for our home.
For our home, like for family, friends, and
How many of the
everything.
chocolates actually came back?
It
How
came
many?
actually,
Yeah,
and
it
then
came back, but
yeah.
it got
Give
spoiled because of
Wish,
Mumbai's humid
Yeah,
weather.
yeah, yeah. We wish
Yeah,
Psalm 25
I
was there
cried.
at that times to just get some chocolates at least.
You were,
But
but we
Actually, I had
We are
thought
not
of,
Adcom,
I
no?
had a
Oh, yeah.
big chocolate box of taken from that Zurich house of chocolate only. So I was like, okay, what to do with this? And after the whole trip, I was not feeling so well. So I was like, okay, these
Too many
people have
chocolates.
come, our juniors have arrived. So why not to give it
Send
to
an
them?
anonymous box
And
to
then my
S17 and
friend,
S15.
Everyone would be
Once
saying.
this I just mentioned.
Once it reaches your friend, it's gonna vanish in a second.
Yeah.
That is also.
This I mentioned, and then people around me were like, "Why we are not there? Give it to us." So it got finished very
Yeah, yeah.
quickly.
We'll see next
After
year.
knowing that,
26
yeah.
is the chocolate.
Yeah, you guys should bring chocolates for them,
For 26.
For them.
even for us.
Yeah.
If we bring
We will not be. I'm gonna be here in Mumbai probably. Let's see.
I will not bring the chocolate. I'll give it.
Yeah, so coming back to the countries that we travel. So then we went to Italy. There we there was a place called Lake Como. Okay, so this was a place where the reels came in my Insta feed during the
That
COVID
is-
time,
yeah.
and it was saved constantly in
Yeah,
my
yeah.
Insta saved stories. So this was this place which was lastly decided that we'll go. And when I arrived over there, I lost, and then I was like, okay, this was the place I used to see in my Instagram reels, and then now finally I have come here, not knowing like 2 years back that I would be able to travel all these places. So that was one thing that I still remember. That okay, so then there's one song also, right? This is a place or something which we used to see in our pictures or something. There's one song. So that kept coming in my mind. Okay, now finally I am there.
April and May, I think both of us would send each other reels of European destinations.
European destinations and what all Italian
We'll do
people,
this.
the hot Italian people would come.
Hot people were there in Amsterdam.
Was the weather also hot in Italy because it's July?
It was so hot.
Was a shock for us.
Mhm.
After Leuven, it was a shock for us. Paris was very hot. Then Amsterdam, surprisingly, when Bharti went, it was not hot.
Mhm.
But when me, Swathi, and Arpan went, it was one of their hottest day over
Yeah,
there, and we regretted why this happened to us. And then after that, Switzerland was very cool place. And then when we arrived Italy with the amount of
Luggage.
tourists, the trains and everything, it was more kind of a shock.
Italy
to us
had a
because
heat wave going on during that time,
Yeah,
so it was
yeah.
terrible.
Hmm.
I
and
think one
then
day
whatever
we-
gain we had got in our hair, the smoothness and everything, it got destroyed in few days just soon as we arrived Italy. And somehow, after spending 14 days in Leuven, somehow I felt that we are used to that weather and less
Also
number
the
of people.
walking style. I mean, the people there walk a lot. So I think in those days we were very used to their kind of lifestyle, walking a lot of places and everything that we usually don't do here in India.
Just one thing. I came in auto to this place right now. Bharti could not walk 100 meters. She took an auto.
No, we
I
are
understood that.
already tired from our classes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just had my class. So
Yeah,
You had
Very
one
good.
class today?
yeah.
I think that
So
justifies.
she's tired after attending one class.
Right. One other country that we missed out was Amsterdam.
Yeah.
The Netherlands.
Yeah.
We went.
So it was a 1 day trip. So it was really nice over there. We had a lot of things to explore over there. And then we explored and then, yeah.
So my trip started a little different from these guys. I landed in Amsterdam.
Oh.
You started your trip with Amsterdam.
Yes. I started my trip with Amsterdam.
Mhm.
I had 2 days in Amsterdam. And after that, I went to Switzerland.
Oh.
I had 4 days of trip in Switzerland. Then I was like, okay, now let's start with the
Start
summer
with the
school.
summer school.
It was sort of a pre-boost for you. Like, just before the party, you get Drunk, that's equivalent of that.
Yeah, and I think I took a lot of time in each of the countries.
Mhm.
So I went to Austria. I think I had 3 days in Austria. I had at least 5 days in Italy.
Oh.
Yeah, so I had 1 day in France. I mean, that was the same for all of us. So yeah, that was there. You guys missed a country. Good. You went to Prague.
we went to Austria and also
Czech
Prague.
Republic.
No, Prague.
Which is in Czech
Yeah.
Republic.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
It is supporting coming from the IIT. No.
So how was Prague?
I didn't like the people over there. They were kind of rude.
But
Because I remember
the party capital of the world.
Actually.
Yeah, actually, the parties over there, we opted for a pub crawl. So the party started around 10 o'clock, where around 50 of us gathered together, and then they took us to one club where all the drinks were free for 1 hour. So you can just hire up yourself, and then we went to another club, and then similarly we went to 4 or 5 clubs. So they had the Europe's largest club over there, which was divided in multiple floors, and every floor had different thing to offer. So there were robots offering you different drinks. Then there were a lot of more happening things which I cannot say. So those were on the other part of the clubs. So it was a really good place. Then we had our burgers and everything from our typical Burger King, and then we came back. Yeah.
Okay, so let's end this in this episode right now with a rapid fire round.
Yeah.
You're going to be asking 3 questions to each of you. There will be 9 questions. And you have to answer it instantaneously.
And
Okay.
Akash, have you decided the question?
I have not. It's a rapid fire for me also. But I haven't decided the question. I'm going to decide as we go. So the first question is going to be after Atre.
Okay. Which is your favorite city? You have mentioned that you guys, where?
Luxembourg.
Luxembourg.
Yeah.
Which is a country and also city. Yeah. Also,
City is the city.
okay. Yeah. Fine. Bharti, for you.
I think I really like Leuven because of the weather and the people there. It was very, very good. I think overall Belgium was very good.
Okay.
Antalya for me. I had gone to Turkey.
Oh, yeah.
Italy, sorry.
I'm so happy Swathi directly answered and Atre didn't have to think about the name again.
I know the name, man. Akash.
Okay, second question.
Yeah.
Which was one city that you missed and you wish you had gone?
Or you would like to visit next whenever you guys visit Europe?
Maybe Budapest. Yeah, that was one thing that we missed. So it was very close to Austria, but then we missed it. So we could have done that, but then we thought that we would spend time and not roam about.
Yeah, which is in Hungary, by the way. And I think you weren't hungry after eating so many chocolates.
Such a bad joke.
Yeah.
Such a bad joke.
Moving on. So, Bharti, to you.
I think I missed Rome. I mean, I went to Italy for 5 days, but still couldn't make out time for Rome. I think for Italy, I need
Even
to have an
we couldn't.
15 days trip because Italy is beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
It's a very long country. So Europe is centrally located, and you guys explored the northern areas more or less. The Venice you guys went to.
Venice,
So guys, you missed Venice while conversation. Again, we can have that.
Kind of for me, in Italy, I had the worst and the best place. The worst was Venice. Don't beat me over it. And the best was Cinque Terre. So it's a 5 stand up. It was beautiful. I went to a train tunnel and I exited it, and there was sea this side.
Wow.
Mind-blowing.
And Swathi, Atre.
So you
might not remember your name, so I'll say
now I'm going to actually call Swathi each time. Not use any pronouns or anything.
Switzerland, we were mostly roaming around the city area. So offbeat places, that is, they have these villages where beautiful mountains, all greenery. I think that is
Greenfield or
Grindelwald. Grindelwald. Yeah, I went there.
Yeah.
I had a more extensive. So I did not go to Switzerland. My hub was Lucerne, and through Lucerne, I went to Mount Pilatus, Grindelwald, and a couple of more places.
Yeah, we saw photos, and then we were like, we should have done that.
Yeah, but I missed Zurich in middle of all of this. So my hotel, my B&B got cancelled, and I didn't had any other place to stay. That's story for another day.
Okay, the final question. What are the best thing you bought from the trip?
Chocolates, watch, and souvenirs, fridge magnets.
Yeah, I bought a leather jacket from there. And souvenirs, obviously, they are very good memories.
And Atre, why don't you ask the last?
Swathi, And by now, Akash, I know the name. Swathi, so what was
For me also, I think it's the souvenirs and chocolates. Obviously, I had lots of them. I think I was the one who bought the most.
Yeah. She had got a lot of. She had to buy another bag for that. I remember she was carrying it, carrying separately. I feel.
Okay, I think that brings us to an end of a very interesting episode, and probably the longest episode we have recorded till date, because we have spoken about dogs, we have spoken about stolen chocolates, and we have spoken about annoying people from various countries. And we have also realized that IRT head does not know all the countries.
I know.
So thank you so much for being here.
IRT head.
just fine as long as
No, IIT head was the one who brought a lot of beautiful opportunities.
which is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with this, thanks a lot again, Aarti, Swathi, and Soumya for doing this with us.
Who's Aarti, by the way?
Yeah.
Who's she?
Swathi, did I again?
Now you mess up the name of another girl over here.
I'm actually not usually that bad with names, but yeah, fine. I think I'm just mesmerized with the places and the description that I am getting names wrong. So thanks a lot, and guys, you can again do the usual drill. Follow us on various social media platforms, and we'll be very soon. We'll come back with a new episode, a new interesting episode. Thanks.
Finally, thank you, Soumya. Thank you, Bharti. Thanks, Swathi.
Thank
you for correct names.
Thank you.